What we do here is go back.
Hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Punisher's Victory series. This is the duo segment that is coming to play, and I'm excited to see exactly what goes into action. I hope you guys are having a great, wonderful Wednesday. There is load shedding for some of you guys at home, maybe spectating, or who wanted to take part in the action. But I'm here to tell you guys that we got three games in line for us over here for the course of the evening. Each game consisting of 1,000 Rand to be won by the Victory Royale winner or duo. And that is going to be shared 500 Rand each among each duo. So that is great prize pool that we are looking at right over there. So what is the sort of we know that the total price pool is 3,000 Rand, 1,000 Rand for each win. So that's going to be nice over there. So let's see exactly what happens and how these players compete with that at hand. Um, So it comes down to just literally grabbing the victory royale. And as much as that sounds so easy, it really isn't, because it comes down to the last final moments, whether you need to clutch a 1v2 or whether it comes down to a 2v2 battle for that 1,000 Rand. And this is all thanks to Punishers, who has consistently grown in the competitive environment for Fortnite, if that makes sense. They have continuously provided support and tournaments like these over the past years. As you guys do know, Punishers is now in a environment over 2 years, and they've been continuously giving to the support of tournaments, etc. So make sure you guys are using the hashtag PSV2022 on social media while posting your guys' tweets on your leaderboard, etc. We'd just like to see you guys show more for Punishers. Tag them in your tweets, show them more recognition that they deserve when it comes to competing in their tournaments, because the Punishers Victory Series is something that has a total prize pool, if I'm not mistaken, 16,800 Rand. So that is quite the sponsorship coming in from Punishers. So make sure we guys showing some love. Let's get those numbers up. Let's get those retweets coming in, and let's get the support coming in for the broadcast that happens every second Wednesday. Yes, we've had some challenges with load shedding, etc., but we try to keep as much as on schedule as possible. I believe the games are going to be starting soon. Going to get a confirmation from Bojo, and Bojo can start. So who are the favorites here for today, guys? I honestly think Smeg and Dan, they look like they're going to be coming in with a lot of force, especially with the past experience, past tournaments that we've seen them compete in. So I feel like Smeg and Dan are really going to be coming in with a lot of hype coming in here. Not only that, but the new duo E-Tech and Flash, who have done tremendously well debuting their duo. I mean, they came in with their first ever tournament played together was the duo Cash Cup, and they actually qualified for it and placed 20th in the finals overall. So I feel like E-Tech and Flash honestly have so much to prove here today. So let's see exactly what that will be looking like going into the tournaments over here. But other than that, we also do got your regulars, Clubs and Ace, who we know did grab one of the 1,000 Rands in the Victory Duo series that we have here for you. But will they come to the show today? We are yet to find out. We also have the favorites Neymar and Bojo competing here today. We also got Travis and Rejects, who I feel like may potentially grab the win. But there's only 3 games. So which out of those duos do you guys think will be walking away with that prize pool? We're going to be finding out in just a bit. As we jump into game number 1, let's go and see exactly what that show will be looking like. So going over into the area right now, we jump in straight into gameplay. So this is it, guys. Right over here, Dan and Smeg coming to action. I feel like this duo just has a lot to prove for themselves now. I don't know what it is about them, but sometimes they just show amazing skill, amazing talent, and I'd love to see that talent time in and time out, especially here in the Victory Series, where it comes down to the very end. And I feel like this team, they have a lot when it comes down to winning games. They know how to do it. They have a great drop spot as well. There's that daily bugle. So they honestly have a lot to offer when it comes to competing, etc. for the teams. So we've got a good drop coming in right now. 63 players here, guys, for game number 1. We are battling with load shedding as well. So I am quite pleased with those numbers that we have displayed on screen right now. But it comes down to here at Daily Bugle how these teams are looking like. And it does look like Smeg and Dan themselves are going to be fully uncontested in that area, which is going to be great for them. E-Tech and Flash, a debut here for us in the environment of competing. And it does look like they go Connie Crossroads, and it is going to be an uncontested area, as we do see E-Tech and Flash very comfortable on their rotations, very separate from one another when it comes to just looting up over there. So that's going to be really great for the team. On the other side of things, we got Neymar and Bojo over here, who are also just in the midst of healing, even though there is sort of the truck, but are they contested is the question. It doesn't look like they are. They are to be also quite separated in the landing spots as it is right here. So they come together again at Command Cave, and a number of times challenges have been faced for the duo at the drop spot. But it does look like this tournament they are going to be uncontested in this area, and that makes me question where Luka Rakic himself will be landing, but unfortunately we don't have his POV for display. The Collider, the new drop spot that is available for everyone. It is supposedly broken. We do see Travis and Rejects, the duo, to come into action over here. We'll be contesting this drop spot. Nice 26 damage, and now he's going to try going for the full spray, try get some damages in, maybe even a knock will suffice from that as well. But it does have a launch pad if he wants to just get into action over there. So let's see what happens. Hey, Foreign Dripper, welcome to the stream. Smile Dog, we do have a minute delay over here, so you did actually miss game number 1, but not to worry, game 2 and 3 is in line. And what's nice about it is you don't need to be consistent. You just need a victory royale. So it does look like the Collider comes in with guaranteed launch pads. They also do have amazing floor loots over there. So let's go back over to E-Tech and Flash, as I do see a knock coming to action from him right over there. It does look like the team get the double eliminations on the Savage and Ethan, if I'm not mistaken. They are competing. So even though they were so separate, there was opposing players over here for E-Tech and them, and they do defend successfully for the first time in a tournament, in a South African tournament. They do defend Connie Crossroads, which is fantastic to see. Coming in now, we may potentially build some chapters and storylines for you guys as we do progress with this team over here. So that means we get to see Ethan and maybe Savage contest at the Connie Crossroads, and that gives a little bit of hype for you guys. I know you guys do like a little bit of drama from there. So E-Tech and Flash now have some, opportunities for themselves and storylines to build from here going outwards. So let's see exactly what that's going to be looking like. But things are looking quite juicy for the team. They do have a decent amount of HP and they're all well set, so they could just be perfect over there. So let's see exactly what happens. But right now, we do got the teams being eliminated, only 12 of them being eliminated right now as it stands, which is really good, showing a lot of the passive gameplay. And that's essentially what you do need in the Victory Royale, is passive gameplay. Kills do not suffice for points whatsoever. It just helps with your overall leaderboard when it comes down to sort of PR check, etc. But overall, what you need to be focusing on, and majority of the time, is gonna be on the fact that you do get victory royales. Talking about victory royales, we do got Clubs and Ace, and it does look like they're in a good position of their own. Chonka Speedway, we know the history here at Chonka Speedway when it comes down to players contesting each other, and it does look like, defending Chonkas for Clubs and Ace has been the #1 role for the past couple of tournaments, and that meant a bit of inconsistency for them, whether competing in a number of tournaments. But when it comes to winning, they know how to play that game. They know how to play endgame, and I'm hoping that we get to see that action come through from them. So game #1 still in roll over here for you guys. So just in case you guys wanted to know, still in roll for game #1. So let's see what happens and what will come of Chonka Speedway for Gloves and Ace. They are in the zone so they can loot up as much as they want, get max materials across the field over there, so they're going to be in the great one. So the next sort of victory series, guys, is going to be 2 weeks from now. So make sure you guys are getting ready. That one is going to be a solos victory series. So make sure you guys are ready to register for that one in 2 weeks' time on the second Wednesday from now. Going over to Dan and Smek just to see how their rotations play out over here. And it does look like they actually find themselves in some form of action right now. They're trying to get a shot in over here. This is where the running mechanics come into play, because they can just constantly put that pressure, and where the player now needs to take some time to pause, to heal up, etc. They can just focus on that sprinting and mechanics over here, and they just need to get 1 or 2 good shots, and that player should be knocked right now. But they are using the environment to get good peaks over here, and you can just see exactly how Smek and Dan work with their surroundings over here, and that's essentially what gives you the upper hand to your oppositions, knowing exactly how to get an advantage to the opponents. So right now he does know exactly that he is in the area, but it comes now down to just getting that elimination, getting that confirmation, and moving on, because they are using quite a lot of their time, and maybe a lot of resources will go into play soon, such as their floppers just tanking a little bit of the storm. So now they know opposition's chilling over there, and they do want that kill. But remember, guys, kills don't matter here in the Victory Royale series. It's all about getting the win. And now you can see them just start to get a distance from the zone that was closing in either way. So good loadout here for the team, I have to say. They got themselves launch pads. They got some floppers as well that they could utilize. Just now getting back all that materials they used in order to chase down the oppositions. So that is going to be quite good for them right now. Still at Connie Crossroads, zone closing in about 15 seconds. So that's when things start to get interesting. So for E-Take and Flash, they don't need to work a massive rotation around. They're going to be quite good on their end over there. So still at the Collider, Travis and Rejects right now. 45 players still remaining. This is looking quite good. A lot of the players are starting to play more passive right now. Players are dropping down. However, we are seeing a couple of players starting to get eliminated, and one of the reasons to that is Neymar and Bojo, as they are sitting on 3 right now, which is good number. But again, we want to strategically move towards, you know, getting the victory royale, and that should be the main motto for everyone over here. But it does look like they understand that Name on them do go for eliminations that they are comfortable with. They are tier 1 players in the South African community and have had a concurrent record to their names right now in terms of competing together. They've had a couple victories under their belt, and that has been great for them. They've also gotten a couple wins and prize money from the victory series that we have our hands in. Bojo just Neymar just noticing a player right now is going to take the crouch, but will he be able to stay alive is the question without getting tagged. Does look like the solo player is getting a distance right now. Here just outside the fortress, he is going to get a height play over the opponent. And it is a solo, so I mean, he can easily just go in for this kill right now. Getting that double piece in play. Goes in for the spray, and oh, there we go. Great damage. It's Jojo. Goes down here to Neymar. Amazing scenes right there. Getting that elimination. Clean and dusted, and it is a solo, so, you know, why not take advantage over those situations? Going back over to Travis and Rejects. Oh, and you see Goliath Rejects down right now. It does look like he's going to go in for a play for the reboot card. but they may potentially be camping that right over there. And this is not exactly what you would hope for Travis and Rejects in this position. But, I mean, when it comes down to rotation and staying in the zone, he doesn't have either option but to try and make a play for the card. But now with the question of the reboot card, is it being camped? You know, there's a lot of decision making, and can Travis, you know, has a solo, can he now then try to make it into endgame and try clutch it up? So much that could go wrong with those rotations, especially with 41 players still remaining right now. So let's see exactly what the decision making is going to be in play for Travis as he's going closer to the reboot card. Maybe he can quickly grab it, use a launch pad or two just to get into zone. And you can see they're actually camping that reboot card right now. No players coming in from behind, so you should be safe to camp even more. Still 170 seconds, and that's more time needed. So we'll come back to the two individuals just soon, just to see whether or not Travis was successful or not on that end. So Clubs and Ace gonna be utilizing that sort of added mechanic now that opens your glider. So it does look like they're going in for the decision to W key, or maybe just for positioning. No, they're going in for the full W key over here. And it does look like they get the wall and they just expand out, and now they do fly out. So getting focus over here. But it does look like they're hungry and they know exactly what they're capable of. But oh! He needs to watch as he gets to extremely high ping right over there at the very wrong time. And Warrior takes him out, takes him down as it stands. So a bit of a Fortnite situation as his ping just spiked all the way to 600. And that meant, you know, he wasn't really in a position of defending himself. Warrior took advantage of knowing that he was cracked as well. And this is just gonna be tough now for Ace to sort of clutch up in that situation. But let's go over to Travis to see whether or not he did manage to get Rejects up. And you can see Rejects is safe and sound back in the arms of Travis. And now they can sort of make their way going into the end game. Neymar and Bojo still on the hunt for players, making some rotations and so forth. But it's Glubs now just an Ace that are in a tough position because now they have their player eliminated. He's just comfortably waiting here. He does have the card at hand, so that's going to be good for him. Can maybe go in for a late reboot just behind zone over there. But that's going to be a bit risky. That's where risk comes into play right now. So here, Ace and them just need to take it by the chin and go in for game number 2 to see exactly what goes into action over there. Smeg and them do seem to have a fortress of mats, and you can see Smeg just going in for the full top over there in hard materials. He's gonna come back and replenish his materials over there. So that's great for them. They actually managed to get all this loadout. I wonder if they managed to get elimination. So this was just sort of a gift. Maybe a llama. No, I don't know if llamas are back or are still voted from the thing. Travis and Rejects just need to make it into zone right now. They got about 10 seconds to start making that decision on where they're going to be placed and how they're going to be situated. But they did use one of the launch pads at hand. And there's Ace just getting eliminated in the kill feed over there. So they have to take that one by the chin and come back with more positive mindset for game number 2 and 3. I still think that team can maybe grab a victory royale here tonight. But it does look like with a lot that has gone through with Rejects and Travis, they have a lot to work with, you know, having Rejects being fully eliminated. Now they need to sort of come through with the clutch, and that's not what you want to see right now. And Travis is going to get eliminated, going in with the 50-50. Rejects taking a lot of the damage. And now I said they had a lot to work with, and now it's just a full server focus coming out from Rejects. He's down to 32 HP. All it needs is just a single shot from the opposition team. But it does look like he's just going to grab some of the materials right now. Very tough scenes here for Rejects. As well as Travis has now. They are down to such little HP. He does have enough materials to get himself into zone over here. So that's going to be good for himself. But now, as a solo, we all know how that's going to work out. It's not really the best of sides for a player to be a solo going into the endgame aspects. On the other side of things, Neymar and Bojo just rotating end zone. Full max 50-50 for them right now. They do get tagged. Just a little bit of a tickle. 8 damage. Nothing to worry about over there. Let's go over to E-Take and Flash to see how things are looking like for them. And it does look like the team is eliminated. So, fortunately, game number 1 doesn't go in favor for them. And Dan and Smeg just steal the supply drop from above. Really great launch pad that they could utilize going into the next zone rotation right now, as they do need it. There's a max pool for them. There they go, rotating. But now, only team rotating means they can get focused over here. They are cracked and now down to 52 HP. He does need to box up. He does have some floppers, minis, and chug splashes, so he's going to be in a good position of HP to get back into action over here. So that's not going to be a problem here for Dan, as he is revitalized right over there. Quite healthy, I would say, for him going into the end game. Let's stay on board with the team just to see exactly what they can play with over here and how they can handle the pressure now that they have to just focus on some of the rotations going into play. So they center of max pool, so that's not too bad for them, I would say. They're in a good position, actually, to pull that zone. Does look like Smeg and Dan are choosing to full top into the zone. Maybe even get just a better position for a launch pad if they have another one at hand. Yeah, it does look like they were waiting for players just to rotate, and now they make the decision to full rotate right now. But Smeg having a tough one over there, so he just goes out. So good position. They can actually scuff out height over there, because height didn't look like they were on a stable position, and that's exactly what's happening. Dan and Smeg are contesting that height play, and that is a good decision from them. It did look to be like a free rotation for them to get onto that height play, and they did so indeed, building the Taj Mahal to height. and now they're in a good position right over here to maybe even potentially win the game. Let's go look at what the decision making was for Neymar and Boja and how they decided to make the rotation. So late, sort of a short launch here in this position to get under the bridge into a great position, I have to add, because I mean, there's not, it looks like a dead side rotation, not that much players here on this position, but a lot of players may potentially just build above them. And you can see they're actually claiming that from Neymar and Boja right now. So they're on the ultimate low. And this is going to be where they need to just focus up on just rotating. And they don't have that much mats. I mean, only 384 on Neymar. Boja with all the hard mats at hand to keep the rotations clean. But that is some great damage down there by Neymar. And they just can keep on going right now. But Neymar just needs to focus on healing right now as Boja is in the box alone. He does deal the majority of the damage, but Boja is very low on HP. Needs to use all these chug splashes as well as floppers at hand to get in a good position. There goes that confirmation of elimination. And now they can continue that rotation. And that was a mighty sort of siphon coming into play for the team, as he does have decent amount of hard mats. But Dan and Smeg doesn't look like they make advantage of game number one being on height, and they get taken out. That's not exactly the area you would hope for that. I would hope they would take full advantage over that gameplay over there, but unfortunately, some things aren't going to be the best of plays for them. So they do get eliminated at 11th. So let's see exactly what happens here with Boja and Neymar. They have to break through, have to make due over here on the low ground. Still 8 players remain, 9 players remaining. Couple solos, teams just being a bit of rats and just rotating in tight spots right now. Great teamwork here displayed by Neymar and Bojo. But it comes down to a great pump. Bojo goes down, and that's not what you want from him right over there. Neymar now needs to be a solo going into the very end, and maybe he can get a couple white heals, etc., and maybe just material-wise and so forth. But it doesn't look like that's going to be all good enough for him. It is a solo going up against teams that are live right now. So let's just see exactly what happens. 7 players remaining. Down to light mats. And this is where SMGs can just easily spray through and get in as much damage as possible. So a lot of risk play is going to come into action for Neymar, as he does choose to stay in the zone for a couple seconds, utilizing those floppers. Does have some chug splashes as well to add to that, but he tries to get himself into a position of zone, and it's just not going to come into action as he gets absolutely disintegrated. HP gone, and now we have 2 anonymous players here who does seem to be quite comfortable winning positions. They're on height. They do have the advantage over here, and you can just see the player grabbing all the white heals needed just in case it comes down to a heal off. But now it's HPK and Spooky, and I just have to love that duo. Something that I never talked about, but that duo coming into action has to be one of the great start-offs to a team, and you actually see that now here yet again. So is Tem and Storm on height? Maybe. Really passive moments, and I don't think we get to spectate that final end. Ooh, just so unfortunate. It was going to be so great to see who wins that game over there. But that was game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. That means we only have to wait until the break to see exactly who walked with that victory royale. But make sure you guys stay around for that. Grab some snacks. We're going to be heading into a little bit of a short break over there. But some of the things that happened is Neymar and Bojo made some great rotations for themselves. Bojo, however, was just pressured a little bit much from height, and that meant he got eliminated. And Neymar as a solo, we saw him try make the rotation to second to height, if I'm not mistaken, and he just got absolutely disintegrated. No time to react whatsoever with those SMGs firing down on him. The other thing is Dan and Smeg, you know, they made the play for height. It looked like everything was going to be playing in their role, but it just went south. When we went back to them, we saw them eliminated at 11th place, and a lot of questions on why or how that actually came to play. But let's take a little bit of a short break, and we'll be back with that leaderboard and victory royale for game number 1.
What we do here is go back.
Gonna listen to him.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. But before we actually go there, let's look at that leaderboard, guys. We got number 1 coming up from Tem and Psycho. So they actually playing the tournament together, and you can see them grab 7 eliminations and a victory royale. That means they walk away with 1,000 rand total prize pool allocated to them. But it isn't over. They can win another 1,000 rand, and they can win one more 1,000 rand, because we've got 3 games lined up for you guys today, and that is going to be great over there. On the other side of things, we got Spooky and HPK with 68 points. We got Bojo and Neymar with 58 points. So Spooky and them very, very, very close to winning it, but however only came second place right over there. And then I think it was Davs and Vibes with 6th place, but who came in third? So Crispy and Jamie actually coming in third place over there. So they just missed the jackpot by 2 other teams. So let's see exactly what that means now when we come down to gameplay, and whether or not game number 2 tells a different story. So I'll go over to E-Tech, because they have to defend Connie Crossroads, and that just gives you guys a bit more of a little bit of a entertainment here of Spawn, because we do know Spawn is usually one of the most slowest beginnings to any start of the tournament. So Connie Crossroads, E-Tech Flash versus Ethan and Savage, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what that means for them going into the fight over here and how things start to play out. Does look like E-Tech has the better drop compared to anyone else. So if he can land on a gun, which he doesn't, unfortunately. Good RNG to start the bat off for the individual. He does have himself an SMG as well, has a pump. He's got everything. He can go into a fight right now, and he can honestly do so well when it comes to his loadout. Right on the other side of things, I don't know too much about Flash and his loadout, but yeah, for E-Take, he has all the necessities to go into a fight. He does generally have most of the loot over here. Flash, however, does look to be in an unstable position as he hasn't seemed to be looting up a bit much over there. But as things stand, it does look like Ethan as well has gotten his full rotation. They do find a launch pad, but let's just go have a little bit of a look at anyone else to see how things are looking like, especially here for Davs. And Davs and them do get eliminated, so it doesn't look too great for them over there on his end. Unfortunately, Stan and Smeg, Universal and Way, actually, on another side of point of view, does look like they are suffering quite a bit, especially here of Spawn, as we do have Universal eliminated from the team. Now it comes down to just way to rotate as a solo, maybe use the rift over here, go back to the card and make a play for a reboot, because there's still quite a number of seconds remaining over there, so they should be in a good position at a later stage. On the other side of things, it did look like Dan and Smeg were contested of Spawn, but they did survive. We kind of missed that action, but let's go back over to E-Tech and Flash to see how things are looking like for them. Flash in a fight of his own takes about 70 damage. You can see E-Tech with urgency to get to his teammate, uses a short launch, and that definitely assisted him over there. Maybe out of mats for Flash, but it does look like now the pressure comes out from the teams. And good position here for E-Tech, as he can now come in from behind or go in for height, using quite a lot of mats that he doesn't necessarily have right now, but it's a great pump from him nonetheless. But he is sandwiched over here, needs to drop down. Can he get out of this position? Lots of pressure from him, left, right, and center. He goes all the way low, trying to find such little HP at hand for the team. But they're starting to recover. Only one build to his name, though. Very sandwiched. A lot of pressure coming from the opposing team right now. And this is exactly what happens. It plays a lot of depression, builds that pressure up onto E-Tech and Flash. Flash with no blue shields whatsoever means that he can't take any unnecessary damage, especially from a shotgun, because that would mean he would be eliminated any moment from now. So he needs to put himself in a good sort of peak fight in this situations, and E-Tech needs to take more so of the attention onto him so that he can survive more so, even longer than what is happening right now. But E-Tech and them, one build to his name, he needs to just farm up the floor, farm up the walls, try get a good decent amount of materials that could help him in fighting over here. So let's see exactly what happens with the team right now. So he isn't using too much or even farming, and these are important moments for him to just farm up, especially in these quiet times where, you know, the team isn't putting any pressure whatsoever. So they grab that wall, and now you do see sort of E-Tech trying to make the play, but it's Flash with the knock onto Ethan and a siphon as well, and that just changes everything. And there's E-Tech to clean things up. 50 white to his name, and there we go. And Flash just constantly always changing and evolving as a player, and there goes the 2-0 to Flash's name right there. Massive, massive GG's. Massive, massive GG's. 2-0 to E-Tech and Flash over there in the Connie Crossroads battle for Defend. Let's see exactly what that means going into game number 3, or even in the future tournaments, whether this story can transpire and bring hype to the Fortnite competitive scene, because that's what drives viewers, that's what drives entertainment, is hype around situations. And one of the most hyped moments, I have to say, in my books was when Flash and Toasty and his trio went and contested Gloves and Ace. That there was a moment of truth. Talking about Gloves and Ace, let's go have a look at how things are looking like for them. 2 eliminations to start off the bat. That is looking very well, but it was my question in gameplays, you know, last game around, you know, they had the materials, they had the HP, they had the heals, they had everything they needed to stay alive and go for the end game. But unfortunately, played it a bit weird and got eliminated somewhere across the line. But here, maybe they learned from that mistake, maybe just changed their gameplay going into it. And let's see exactly what happens for them. Decent amount of material collection coming into play for them. Going over to Dan Smack to see how things are transpiring right now. Just leaving their home, going over to Connie Crossroads. This might just be interesting because Flash and E-Tech could still be in the area. But it does look like other players are also making that rotation into the same vicinity. So that means things could just be a bit weird. The Cub getting eliminated in the kill feed over there. So that means their team doesn't look like they'll be winning the Vic Roy right now. No water whatsoever. But I swear, from an E-Tech sort of point of view, you do get water in those areas. And E-Tech and them are still in Connie Crossroads right over here. So they just might be in a fight momentarily. Let's go back over to Smeg and Dan just to see how that rotation's looking like for them. So they completely just skip over Conic Crossroads into the position. And now things are looking quite nice for the teams as we are down to 40 players. Things are starting to slow down a bit. But there's some players rotating in the distance, and that could potentially be maybe Neymar and them on the hunt for some kills. No, Neymar and them are still comfortable at Command Caven. E-Tech and Flash away from everyone. Let's go see how Dan and Smeg responds to the players over here. So just taking a little bit of damage, and that's okay for now, but taking too much damage means that you now need to use your resources, which is meant for that intense packed end game. Transmec just controlling the bridge. And they have a decent amount of materials to do so. Going over to E-Tech and Flash, let's see exactly what's happening right now. Find themselves just outside shifty shafts. Material starting to look good, starting to build up right now, and their loadout is starting to look much more healthier. So that is really great for E-Tech and Flash right now. They had a bit of a run in game number one, and we couldn't really see them going all the way to end game. To see their debut here in a South African sort of environment, we saw them together compete in the Dual Cash Cup, which was amazing from the team, qualifying and placing 20th overall, which is an achievement in Fortnite right over there. But it comes down to how they perform here in South Africa, how they perform across the competitive fields. And I'm looking forward to seeing that relationship between the two, E-Take as well as Flash, just sort of build up from there. E-Take being a very responsive player, very mechanical player as well when needed. Not only that, but the aim that comes into play is just so amazing for himself over there. E-Take knows how to deal the damage, and we've seen it firsthand as well. Just the damage distributed across the field right there. Players are definitely slowing down in terms of eliminations, which is great to see because we love those fun-packed end games. Does look like them on them very late in endgame to still be at command and have the players here starting to move in, but Bojo making a bit of a reckless play. It takes about apologies, it takes about 70 damage right now. Landing a command cave means that you can stock up on utilities because there's just so much to use. But now they start to rotate outwards, 30 seconds until they have that time to make the distance. And if I believe Dan and Smek are comfortably chilling on their bridge, and now you can see that actually here for yourselves. Found themselves in a great position. Ooh, dealing nice damage over there. Just out the fortress, Clubs and Ace comfortably boxed up max materials across the field. 2 launch pads, a drum shotgun as well. Gloves as well, he shows a lot of the consistencies when it comes to aim as well. And I have to say that drum shotgun does look like it's going to be some trouble. Does look like it's going to rip through his opposing players. So let's see exactly what that will be looking like. As players are passively changing their gameplays right now, it comes down to end game to see exactly what that action is all about and how things actually play off over here. But does look like they find themselves in a good position. So no need here for E-Take or Flash to even make the rotation into the next zone. They have to wait for it to decrease so that they can make a decision whether or not to change direction. Now the players are getting closer to each other and the pressure is starting to build up. So make sure you guys are strapped to your seat as we are in a ride for roller coaster with E-Take and Flash as they try to get that piece. But the cone was a second too late. But it does look like Flash either way does get put on the pressure and the player does get eliminated from a third party. So unfortunately, they just didn't get that elimination point, but it doesn't matter. Their focus should be getting the victory royales and winning 1,000 rand. And that is exactly what's happening over here with all the pressure coming around for the team. It does look like now it will be a great time for the team to work their way upwards. 4 kills for Gloves over here, guys. You can tell he's much more focused, much more determined to bring a winning victory royale to their team. Can they do it? They were the first team to walk away with a win in the victory series when it all started. Can they bring a comeback in some way, form, and keep that consistency going even further? Slane gets knocked in the Storm, as well as another player fighting Storm gets eliminated. So don't be dying in the Storm when your only goal is to make it to the very end and staying alive to that very moment. But now the zone goes completely closed, and we get to see whether or not Gloves and Ace are going to be in a fighting position. So let's see exactly what that will look like. So they have to use a launch pad, I would assume, in this position, because it is a max pool zone and they are center zone as it currently stands. So they just need to be wary of their surroundings when launch padding, because 27 players means that there will be players in and around trying to take advantage of your placement of your launch pad. So let's see exactly what happens right now for the team. Does look like he's just going to be griefing a couple opponents over there in terms of not making those rotations right now. But the beams that I told you, Gloves knows exactly how to deal the damage, but he must be aware of his surroundings when over peaking for that amount of time. So Gloves and them looking quite fresh. Dan and Smeg, let's see how they are doing this time around. They made a great decision last time in game number 1 to go in for high, but it was that height that actually got them eliminated at 11th place because they didn't control it and took a full advantage of it. But they know how to keep these rotations clean. They know how to keep the space between them on average a good distance as well. Just keeping this rotation clean. Lots of obstacles in their way, but they can reform right here. And these bricks and stones just give so much materials. Just look at that. 106 from a single one over there. So that's going to be a good refresh. There's about 2 elimination counts if you add that over there. Just max pool off the max pool here coming into play for the teams. Going over back to Gloves and Ace. Let's see exactly what's happening with their team. And the rotations are looking very, very clean as it stands right now. E-Tech and Flash will jump over to them in just a bit just to see exactly what's happening. But they make that rotation very clean for themselves, Gloves and Ace over there. And it comes down to literally all these 3 duos who are so great in competing to now stay alive in these very moments. E-Tech and Flash separate, and that means Flash goes down without E-Tech support in the back end to help him over there. But there was a lot of obstacle in their way, and they couldn't really suffice to beat up right now. Great beam from him. Player tries to piece him, but the spray coming out from E-Tech is going to be amazing, and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. E-Tech on controller just means he has that added pressure, and if you see who's on height, it is Gloves, it is Bojo and Neymar. But we'll have a look at Gloves and Ace right now to see how things are looking like for them as it comes down to 17 players. Will we see the 2v2 for first place coming out from Neymar and Bojo versus Gloves and Ace to replay that moment in the Doritos, in the Vic Roy game number 1, the first episode of the series? Let's see exactly what happens. There goes that damage from above, and we know that's name on Bojo. Oh! Give me them toes, the opposing player said, as he deals the damage onto Gloves right now. Gloves on 56 HP, can't take too much damage whatsoever. Ace as well, healing up just outside the box of Ace and Gloves right now. And they are just making that rotation. It doesn't look too great for him as he does get eliminated. And we'll go over to Dan and Smig to see how things are looking out for their team. And they are quite coordinated, much more so looking quite good on materials as well to keep on that endgame rotation. The pressure from above being that name on Bojo is just dealing the damage over there. And while they make that happen, you see Dan and Chubbs and Smeg doing the exact same added pressure, being that there's another team on the low grounds, but no white heals means you need to get into zone. And he does find himself a little bit of breathing space right over here for Dan and Smeg. But anytime now, they need to start making the decision to move out of this location into a better layer, I would assume, because it's just so tight and anything can surface from this situation right now. 7 players remaining. Oh, nice little tap shot over there. But Smet goes down. It's all down to Smet. Dan right now, and he does deal the damage over there. Does get an amazing kill, but it's obviously Neymar and Boj on height that can easily clean this one up, as it is coming down to literally a 2v1 situation. And you can see, oh, I'm mistaken. Neymar and Boj get eliminated. It's not even them in the end game. It is Ferguson. I have no idea who that is. And his duo partner who grabbed the victory in that area over there. Very, very unfortunate scenes. So Neymar and Boja don't even grab the win. Dan and Smet go down in a battle of a low ground over there. And it was Flash and E-Take to separate in the midst of the moment when Flash needed E-Take the most to get knocked. Ace and Gloves felt the pressure on the low grounds as well, as the damage came from above, from the side. And Ace and Gloves just got separated in that rotation. Meant that Ace topped into the wrong direction, got damaged and knocked. And Gloves, unfortunately, I wonder where he ended up with over there. But that was game number 2. We'll be back, guys, for game number 3.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Good day, guys. We are back with game number 3, the final game here for you guys in the evening. And now I can't really show you the leaderboard because unfortunately it isn't updated. But it was Luca and Tristan to actually win game number 2. That must have been one crazy experience for the two players over there because they're not even a duo. So managing to grab 1,000 rand over there is amazing scenes. So let's see exactly what they can do going forward in the game number 3. We haven't had a back-to-back win in any of the victory series over here. I wonder when we might just get that, or maybe even if we can get 3 wins in a row. Imagine that is the case. Someone walking away with 3,000 rand over there. But game number 2 is the 3 is just about to start. So let's go over there and just see exactly how things are going to be looking like. So going over even Smack and Dan, I know they have, a lot of the fighting last time around, but maybe this time they don't fight anyone. So we have to wait and see whether or not that is going to be the play. Jumping from the bus right now. Doesn't look like they're going to be fully contested at Daily Bugle. So go over back to E-Take and Flash to see how things are looking like for them. Managed to get a pump. Oh, E-Take with the absolute beam with a pistol. They get that, and you can see Flash just behind over there. Does look like now he is in a fight of his own. He has enough match to just go onto the top of there and get that elimination, but he's playing it slow, playing with his opposing players right now. But that was really good from the team over there. Oh, E-Take, you mastermind crack of a bean. I don't even know what to say, but 3-0 off spawn over here. Flash and E-Take take this with a massive dub. Ethan, who has landed at Conic Crossroads for the longest time that I can remember, with different teammates, vibes, etc. They come into the Punishers Victory series right over here, and they are struggling. They are struggling 3-0 right now off spawn in the fate of defending Conic Crossroads. Doesn't look like too much defending is going on, and maybe the best defense for Ethan and Savage is offense, and they tried that. They tried landing closer to Flash and E-Take. They tried putting themselves in a position where they could take damage onto Flash over there, but E-Take took advantage of it and managed to get an absolute beam with his pistol, destroying Ethan over there, and then later on just playing it passively towards the end over there. And that mantle pump had Savage confused, looking 360 and not knowing where that damage came from. So that was amazing from E-Take, managing to control the pumps over there. Massive, massive plays overall from the team right there. Let's go check Dan and as well as Meg to see how things are looking like for them. Popping up those mats are looking quite good right now. Team is looking in a positive. Neymar and Bojo, however, find themselves in an off-spawn battle in a sense. Right over here, they do look quite okay, but it's a great beam from the opposing team. They box the player, nice pump coming into action over there, and they do eliminate there. And that's what I was saying. Because when you defend, you know exactly your rotations, the plays, and so forth needed right now. Amazing scenes coming out from Neymar and Boja as they do manage to pick that one. It was very close call for Neymar as he almost went down over there, but he did compose himself, and his teammate Boja did come in clutch as well just to help out in those situations. So that was really nice to see coming out from Boja as well as Neymar. Reject.
Yeah.
Are you guys dead?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
So Rejects and Travis eliminated of Spawn for game number 3, unfortunately. So that means we won't have them going into the fight. Oh, there we go. Nice little lost connect. So we still have the entire command cave and loot to play with over there, and that's going to be really good for the team. Dan and Smeg seem to be in another fight here at Daily Bugle. So let's see exactly what suffices from this. Is that a word, chat? Can you confirm with me? Is suffices a word? I don't think it is, but you know me and my history of creating words here on cast and commentary, live in action, no time for repeats. But here right now, let's see exactly what comes from this fight for Dan and Smeg. It does look like they chose to play the passive, but passive means they get pressured a little bit, especially as you guys can see right now, just that orc shots coming into action. But it's nothing too serious just yet, and they are staying composed. They are staying quite relaxed right now. So let's see exactly what happens right there. Now just sitting and waiting, I guess, is the play right here, which comes down to patience, and Battle Royale is all about that as well, is who makes the move first and who decides what happens. So by Smeg and Dan playing the slow game, the enemies get a bit of hyper aggressive over here, and that means Dan and Smeg can control it. So it's a really good strategy that they're playing here at the box fight. No one's really going aggressive as it stands right now, but at any time one of these teams would break and decide, you know what, to make a wrong decision, a wrong choice, and that could lead to one of the players getting eliminated over there. Does look like now that action starts to unfold for us a little bit. But they have 46 seconds to decide what they do, or else Zone starts to put the pressure on them. Ten seconds. Zone starting to decrease anytime soon. And it does look like the opposing teams are getting a distance, as we do see the visuals sort of disappear. Nice pump from the opposing player. Now the pressure is on. Storm is here. Smeg has taken the damage over there. Ooh, he lands straight onto him. But Smeg is in a trouble of his own as he's down to 20 HP. And Smeg does get knocked and will get finished as well. Now it's a build battle between him and the opposing player. Dan looking quite comfortable over here. Ooh. Oh, perfect. And it is Lakey on the other side of the end. And Dan really played this entire fighting in the box, outside the box, quite well. Played it slow, he played a passive Smeg. On the other hand of things, he just made it a bit tough. Nice damage over there, but now Nemo as well taking quite the hit, as well as Bojo being cracked in this position over here. So let's see exactly what happens right there. It does get the elimination. Bojo goes down, but it's just enough. And you can just see, just in case of emergency, Bojo does drop all the mats needed. But Nemo's capped. Nemo doesn't need anything over there. And he does have decent amount of chug splashes to heal up if needed. Just look at that amount of loot they have all together. Sure. E-Tech and Flash adding the pressure right now to the opposing players who are in and around, but it does look like 35 seconds until that zone closes, and we have 33 players here in the very last game. They have themselves as well a loot of pool that they can continue to refresh their materials and ammo on, so that's going to be quite great for them. They do have a gold auto shotgun here for E-Tech, so that's also just going to just add an extra benefit when in close range to an opposition player. The Orc looking quite healthy, 492 ammo. He does have himself a launch pad, so if he does need to rotate into the next zone, he could use that, or even potentially just walk into it, depending on where it pulls, and we'll know now, and that is quite the distance, and Flash already kind of predicting where that was going to be with the marker over there, so that's quite nice coming out from the team. But unfortunately just now need to rotate, and it does look like they are going to use builds of their own to do so exactly over there, so it does look like that comes into action. It's not that far off, couple meters, and they should be in the next sort of area, but E-Tech and them need to thread carefully as they rotate into their own builds just to get a bit of a map refresh, and they do so indeed. Now just getting back into the position where they were in, that is going to play quite well for them. On the other side of things, Daz and Vibes are looking quite good, but it does look like the team just got eliminated, unfortunately. So that's just not the way you want to go out. On the other side of things, Way and Universal look to be progressing further into the game right now, and they are fighting, and it does look like the player just manages to mantle his way out of this. They got 53 seconds to make the decision to rotate, and a launch pad is placed, and it's perfect for Way and Universal to utilize. Let's see whether or not beams come through or connect onto the players. It doesn't look like any of them are currently losing any HP whatsoever, except for Clone. Quite a massive amount of damage dealt to them, but it doesn't look like any server focus is going to follow after that massive beam coming into play for him. Dan and Smeg, however, looking quite healthy and comfortable. I say healthy and I kind of lie over there. If you look at that Mac count, is looking quite tough. I mean, only 200 brick and 121 metal. Endgame is going to be quite disastrous here for Smeg and Dan, unless they do get themselves some juicy siphons that they could utilize going into the moving zones. That is going to be quite great for them. So let's see exactly what happens and how things turn out. But 32 players, they do pull first zone, so they can comfortably focus on players rotating and get a couple eliminations. But that's not the role here for today. Eliminations don't suffice for points, so they just need to focus on the rotations for them, and not really focus on any eliminations as it stands. As well as Neymar and Bojo, who had a flood of mats. Somehow, only 75 and 213 brick going into this one over here. High launch going into the sky. A couple other players. So this means that they're not going to get too focused whatsoever. 30 players up and away. They go rotation-wise, looking quite good. They do land over there, and they are in zone. Don't need to worry too much about the damage or the server focus, as everyone else is also just focusing on that rotation. But materials and white HP not looking too amazing here for the team, I have to add. They do luckily have another launch pad that they could use, but just a gift from the Fortnite heavens themselves, managing to get an opposition launch pad that they could utilize and land now in the safe zone for them. So that's going to be quite good, but now they do need quite the dramatic amount of mats and materials for them. Smeg and Dan on the low grounds of play, and we did see them last time around do the same sort of strat, as height actually didn't go in their favor, and it means in the victory series we are not getting a lot of the high players getting that win, getting that automatic victory. But it doesn't look like that is the case here, in where, you know, that automatic victory on height always comes into play. We saw game number 1, Dan and Smeg make amazing play for height, got eliminated somewhere across the play. And then as well as for Neyman Bojo, who placed third instead of going over for the overall victory. It was just a bit of a tough one right there. Drops the mini, throws it at him, actually. Bit rude if you may ask me, but they just rotate on the low ground, grabbing. Not that much breathing space. I would prefer if they had a better layer for them, just so that they can be at a great advantage of playing field. But it does look like now that comes into play, and there goes that damage that is expected from being in such tight areas, as we are seeing from Dan and Smack, and it's just not looking good as they're both on white HP. Smack goes down, and 21 HP on the other hand of Dan doesn't look too good, and he also is going to be taken out of this one over there. On the other side of things, you got Flash, who's a solo player. He needs to work magic, and he does so indeed. Gets himself an elimination over there. Good siphon as well, but he's a solo, and we all know how this sort of works out right now. He's going to be chilling in zone right now with his thing, and there he just lines it up, waits for the player to drop into his playing area. And there's so much white heals for him to work with. Couple seconds at hand for him as well, and he can't get more chug splashes, just 2 more. However, he needs to stop making a play for height or something right now. Uses a launch pad, goes high and mighty, but he needs to be careful now because there's players who could potentially be in a fight for this one, and it is a build battle, but he chooses to drop all the way down, and oh, he gets taken via fall damage, and that's not exactly how you would want things to be for him. Neymar and Bojo already eliminated, out of sight for them, and that's just a GG's overall. We don't know exactly who is in play for this one over here, but it is a solo who is getting terribly beaten up over there, and it does look like maybe Tem and Psycho win game number 3, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to confirm that one over there with you guys on social media. Just make sure to follow us on the Punishers in the description over there. Check the description, follow us, make sure you guys are all doing that. But that means we are done and dusted with the tournament, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed those 3 games of gameplay. Let's see exactly what happens going into the second week, where we will be looking at solos. But make sure you guys come around. Tell your friends that there is the Victory series happening every second Wednesday. And we'd love to see you guys come in and join us for some show over there. It's going to be amazing. But guys, that is the show.